On the show today, we sit down with Liberty Athletic Director Ian McCaw to talk about the Flames' move to the ASUN Conference.
Plus, a Liberty basketball player gets a surprise he'll never forget, and we bring you an interesting look at the history of the Flames' swimming and diving program.
It all starts right now. This is Game On. What is up? Welcome to another edition of your favorite show, Game On, alongside your favorite anchor, Brett McGibbon. I'm Matt Warner.
Yeah, the Liberty sports season is basically on summer break at this point, but before that could officially happen, LU track and field athletes tested themselves against the very best at the NCAA championships, and that's where we begin today.
Yeah, as we told you many times, Liberty track and field has a great track record of success. That pun intended, not my best work, obviously. The group of 5 athletes that earned a spot in Eugene tied for the most Liberty has ever sent to nationals, and one Flame would stand out above the rest. That athlete was sophomore Marcus Belangi, who competed in the decathlon after posting a career best in both the javelin and the 1500. Belangi, who was competing in just his 6th career decathlon, finished in 7th place, thus earning him All-American honors. You can see how the other 4 athletes fared, and all quite the accomplishment to send so many Flames to the NCAA championships. Oh, by the way, Belangi, Pratt, Zapata all returned for the Flames, so the program in great hands going forward.
Well, it's just been over a year and a half since Ian McCaw took the reins over Liberty Athletics, and in that time, he has guided Liberty football to the FBS level, announced new plans for a multi-purpose arena, which will be home to basketball, and has overseen numerous successes in the playing field, including the Lady Flames basketball team making it to the Final 64. Most recently, AD McCaw has transitioned the Flames from the Big South Conference to the ASUN, a jump that will see LU in many new locations throughout the upcoming sports season, and a move that should bring a higher level of competition with it. Here to talk about the ASUN meetings and what the sports year will look like is Ian McCaw and Matt Warner.
Yeah, please be joined now by Ian McCaw, Director of Athletics here at Liberty. Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
A move like Liberty Athletics is making to an entirely new conference, a daunting task, I'm sure. Walk me through, what does that look like, the timeline? What all goes into a process that I'm sure took you a while to make this move happen?
Yeah, it really did. It's taken over a year, and certainly there's mutual interest between us and the ASUN, and we're certainly very attracted to their academic profile, some really strong institutions, very competitive conference, extremely strong in the spring sports. Their RPI in softball was 6th in the country, 7th in the country in baseball, so certainly a very attractive opportunity, but it did take a number of months to come together, and then once President Falwell made the decision, things came together very quickly, and we had a press conference later that week.
Now, I know you just came back from meetings with all the conference members. What can you tell us about what took place there? Maybe what did you learn? What was the big takeaway from you as you kind of get together and maybe for the first time in some cases get to know a lot of these other members?
Yeah, Matt, we were warmly welcomed. It's a tremendous conference, 9 members, 4 based in Florida, 1 in Georgia, 1 in Tennessee, 1 in Alabama, and of course 1 in New Jersey. So it certainly expands our footprint. But a couple major takeaways were, first of all, it's very much a student-athlete first type of conference. We always think about the student athletes and what's in their best interest. And the other thing is it's very performance-based, and they reward performance. If you perform in the regular season, they're going to reward you with benefits in the postseason, and that's something I know our coaches are excited about.
Oh, I'm sure. As a competitor, you want to hear that. You want to be rewarded for your play on the field. You talk about the different locations these schools are in. For us, in the aftermath of the announcement, we heard from a lot of viewers, and that was the big question. Boy, it's going to be tougher to drive for an away game. Tell me about the geography and the benefits of this new conference and the new towns, the new cities you'll be able to go to.
Well, we're really excited about the markets. We're going to be in 4 of the nation's top 30 markets, New York, Orlando, Nashville, and Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that's certainly going to be exciting in terms of exposure for Liberty. They have 8 of the top 80 markets as well represented within the footprint of the ASUN. So that's exciting. But certainly some of the destinations that we're going to be going to play in Fort Myers, Florida during January. I don't think we're going to have to twist a lot of arms to do that.
I'm going to sign up for that trip.
Okay, we'll get you on that road trip. And but certainly it's going to be some different parts of the country for our student athletes and our coaches' experience. And I think they're going to be very excited about that.
Talk about the coaches. They're basically having to learn an entirely new league. I remember Kerry Green saying the day of the announcement, the league has to prepare for one team. We have to prepare for all of them. As you've talked with coaches since that day, and I'm sure they've had questions about the move, What's kind of been their response to now going into an entirely new conference and having to compete against teams that maybe they're not familiar with at this point?
Right. I think there's a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation. Certainly we know we're stepping up in competitive levels, so we're going to need to adjust upwards to that. And there's a lot of change, and that always creates some anxiety. But we'll work through all the logistics, the travel, all the things that will change here very quickly. And I think we're going to end up in a really good spot. I really am excited about the model of FBS independent football, ASUN is our all-sports conference. I think that really positions Liberty well for the future.
Now, one thing certainly the fans love are the rivalries. And when you've been in a conference a long time, that kind of builds. Moving into a new conference, how do you go about establishing a rivalry? Is there anything you do to try to make that happen, or do you just kind of let it play out on the field?
I think we'll see how it develops, but I think certainly a couple interesting ones to begin with. Lipscomb, another faith-based institution, a lot of similarities with Liberty, and then certainly some of the stronger programs in the conference. Florida Gulf Coast has been a power in basketball, very strong in some of the spring sports, and that'll be one that'll really be a school that we benchmark ourselves against. So those would be two natural rivals right off the bat.
Well, Ian, it's never slow around here. There's always breaking news, it seems like, each and every week. We're excited about making the move to the ASUN, and we appreciate so much you stopping by here today and kind of giving people a peek behind the curtain.
Thanks, Matt. We're really excited about a big year ahead for Liberty Athletics. 2018-19 is going to be historic, and certainly President Falwell's done a great job of guiding us through the last 16 months with the FBS move and now the ASUN, so we're excited.
Absolutely. Rep, we'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Matt. We continue talking about Liberty's move to the ASUN now as we unveil a new segment. We call it the ASUN Scouting Report. And each week we'll be introducing you to another member of the conference, beginning this week with Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast is located in Fort Myers, Florida, between the Everglades and the Gulf of Mexico. Established in 1991, FGCU's 800-acre campus is home to approximately 15,000 students. The school's colors are cobalt blue and emerald green, and their athletic teams are known as the Eagles. FGCU's men's basketball team rose to national prominence in 2013 with a Sweet 16 run, and they're coming off an ASUN regular season conference title, their third in the last 5 seasons. The ladies have experienced similar success on the hardwood, winning 8 of the last 10 ASUN regular season championships, and they come off a season that saw them win an NCAA tournament game for just the second time in program history. The FGCU women are dynamic on the pitch as well. The Eagles have reached the NCAA tournament 6 of the past 7 years. Overall, FGCU athletics finished second in the ASUN all-sports standings and have established themselves as one of the preeminent programs in the conference.
Yeah, I have a feeling Liberty and FGCU going to have some real battles in the coming years. Should be a lot of fun. Well, we turn now to football. Players are on campus taking part in off-season activities, but the team has already announced its captains for the 2018 campaign. At the Flames' first meeting of the summer, Gill revealed the 5-man group that will serve as Liberty's leaders this year. They are junior offensive lineman Dante Duff, junior wide receiver Antonio Gandy-Golden, senior linebacker David King, senior offensive lineman James Passmore, and senior defensive back Jeremy Peters. These are the first group of captains to ever lead this program into an FBS season. And speaking of FBS, Liberty has announced a few new future matchups. The Flames will play a home-and-home with Western Kentucky, going to the Hilltoppers in 2020 before they pay a visit back here in Lynchburg in 2025. The Flames also added a game with Middle Tennessee in Murfreesboro in 2026. Liberty has now announced completed football schedules for the next 4 seasons, which was required as part of the Flames' transition process to the FBS ranks. And that jump to the FBS, when does it begin? Well, I'm glad you asked. It kicks off with the Flames season opener on September 1st. Liberty welcomes in Old Dominion for a 6 p.m. start. It should be a packed house at the upgraded Williams Stadium as the FBS era gets off to an exciting start. For ticket information, if you want to make it out to that game, you can always visit libertyflames.com.
Well, sticking with football, this will be an exciting time for Flames junior quarterback Stephen Calvert. The man we know and love as Buckshot will lead the Flames into the FBS season as he hopes to build on his record-breaking career as a Flame. Now, I know a lot of people talk about quarterbacks and oftentimes they're judged on their stats alone, but here at Game On, we judge them on an entirely different topic. How can they handle the hot seat on Flames fill in the blank?
All right, Buckshot, Flames fill in the blank. That's how it works. I ask questions, you give me your wholehearted answers.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes,
all right,
ma'am.
this is a scenario. You're in a zombie apocalypse. Who is the first one of your teammates to go, and which is the last?
Well, first of all, I say I'll survive.
Okay, You're going to be the one to survive?
Yes.
Okay, who's
and
going?
the one to die first, Antonio Gandy Golden.
Okay, why him?
He's just a goofy guy. He's always playing around. He'll probably try to run up to the zombie, touch it, play with it a little bit, and then just get swarmed. There's something crazy like that.
No, that's funny that you said that, because his answer was you would be the first one to go, he would be the last, and you would be going up to him to ask him what to do. So I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you said that. All right, which coach on the Liberty football team has still got some game up their sleeve?
Joe Daly.
Because he's the quarterback coach, right? You almost got to pick Coach Daly.
Whenever we make good plays on film, he's always the first one sprinting downfield, trying to celebrate with us, running, always making jokes how if he was still able to, one more year, he'll make everybody get on the bench and watch him play.
All right, if you had the choice to pick your college roommate, and the options were between Tim Tebow, Tom Brady, Odell Beckham, or Gronk, who are you choosing?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Are you going with the quarterback? Quarterback's going with the quarterback.
Yes.
All right. Would you rather win the Heisman or be the #1 draft pick?
#1 draft pick.
#1 draft pick. All right. What is the first thing you're doing with that paycheck?
Buy my mom and dad a car.
Okay. What kind of car?
Whatever they like. Probably something nice, Mercedes-Benz or Cadillac or something.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Taylor Swift.
You like her music?
I listen to her music every now and then.
Have you gone to a concert of hers?
Never.
Oh, darn it. Okay. Very good concert.
Yeah.
Who is that one kid you do not want to be behind in the buffet line after the game because you want to make sure you are getting some food?
Pretty much the whole O-line and D-line. But one person that probably stands out is probably Damian Bounds.
Okay. You're making sure you are not behind him.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for taking time to fill in the blank. It wasn't that hard, was it?
Not at all.
Easy.
Easy.
Well, let's take a look here at basketball. It's already been a busy offseason for the Flames with multiple members from the team and staff moving on. That movement has enabled Coach McCaw to bring in some new faces. Many of those new faces were finally all in the same place for the first official practice of the year. Now, Keenan Gums will be a solid addition to the group. The 6'5" grad transfer averaged 21 points last year at the D3 level. Overall, this should be a talented group that features the likes of returner Caleb Holmesley, who enjoyed the energetic vibe from their off-season work.
It's been a lot of skill work. It's been a lot of just developing your craft and what you want to get better on for next season. And I think the coaches have done a good job at that, scheduling the right workouts and what guys really want to focus on. We let them know, and then they put it into a workout. I think that we've had some good bonding time, and we've talked a lot. I think it's going to be a good year for us.
Well, coming up, Liberty Swimming and Diving has come a long way in a short time. We bring you the story of this fast-growing program.
And it's a feel-good story for one Liberty basketball player that has a fun twist. You'll want to see this when Game On comes back.
Welcome to Liberty University.
We are so glad that you are here.
We hope that while on campus,
you will experience God's goodness
and recognize His abundant blessings and faithfulness.
From our thriving academics with over 200 programs
and our close-knit community to our state-of-the-art facilities and residence halls.
You will see that the Lord is integrated into each part of this university.
Fun and excitement also await you here as you attend football games,
basketball games, concerts,
campus community,
convocation 3 times each week,
and much more, while developing relationships that will last a lifetime.
Each of us has a different path during our time here.
But we have at least one thing in common.
Not leaving this university the same as when we came.
I love this school.
I love this school.
I love this school, and I hope you will too.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
They're just calling for sporadic showers during the day, so we're handing out ponchos just in case. So at least we'll be protected if a shower does blow through.
You become the voice for the voiceless. You bring healing to the hurting. You fight for the oppressed. You defend freedom. You defy stereotypes, and you follow God's calling wherever it may lead you.
All you have to do is look around this campus and look at these wonderful graduates to see how joy grew out of suffering.
We're the ones to decide, do I hate or am I filled with love? Do I think only about myself or do I care for others? We ourselves make these decisions and no one else. There are no limits to our ambition as a human being.
My first impression of Liberty was honestly kind of overwhelming and surreal because I didn't think that I would have the ability to come here. The summer before, I had just come from a summer where I had been homeless and I was living in my car. I had no idea what was coming next. So the opportunity to be on the Liberty Worship Collective came up, and I auditioned and I moved forward in that, and I was able to see financial provision come through that opportunity. My Liberty experience has been absolutely incredible. I've loved every single minute that I've gotten to spend time with the students here on campus, to be able to learn from the professors who have so much to give, to be able to experience these activities that we have on campus through convocation and campus community, the student activities that we have that make everything so much fun. I've absolutely loved every single opportunity that Liberty has had to offer me.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Game On. You know, the Liberty swimming and diving team has had their fair share of success in their small history. It's impressive considering the beginning stages of the program had limited resources. But as you're about to see, that didn't stop the Flames. The team and the coaching staff bought into a winning mindset and have never looked back.
When you look back on the relatively short history of the Liberty swimming and diving program, the amount of success they've achieved since its inception in 2010 is pretty remarkable. And much of that success is due to the only head coach they've ever known, Jake Schellenberger.
I was hired in the summer of 2009, and so the first varsity team was the 10-11 year. I was here in 9-10, and we used that as a recruiting year. And so we would bring recruits on campus, and we would sell them the vision of the program. You know, here's what we want to do. It was challenging, because we're a new program, we're trying to recruit high-level student athletes, and we have no history, you know, a facility that has challenges. And so it wasn't easy to recruit, but we could pretty much say, here's what elite-level swimming and diving programs do, and this is why we're doing what we do. Yeah, we had a lot of early success, and we've continued it. Even just our first year, we had 12 teams in our conference, and we finished 6th out of 12 teams, you know, just our first year.
Yeah, I think it's exciting to have been able to just start from ground zero and watch a program just sort of blossom. It's been a blessing.
Our first year in program history, we had a top 100 recruit from Penn State. She ended up scoring her sophomore year, helped lead us to a conference title in her 4th year. Yeah, we started out fast and, you know, got faster from there. We built the LaHaye pool back in 2003 when we didn't know that we would someday have an elite-level Division I swimming and diving program. So we built it as a rec pool and a fine rec facility it is. And, you know, if you want to go in there and do water aerobics, it's great. If you want to go in there and swim laps, it's fantastic. When you're looking at training elite-level swimmers specifically, you're looking at lane space. And the more people you have in a lane, you've got people on butterfly, you're bumping into each other. You know, freestyle, you're locking arms. If you got paddles on, we've had people get cut with paddles because they're running into people.
The lack of lane space wasn't the only issue facing this young program. Another major challenge was the fact that they didn't have a diving facility at all. This would put the Lady Flames at a major disadvantage.
If you don't have diving, and the other team has diving, there are 2 diving events, the 1 and 3 meter springboard. And if you don't have those events, the other team doesn't just not score them. They don't just not dive and say, oh, it's okay, you know, because you don't have diving. They take those points, and you just don't dive, and they dive. Their divers dive against no one. And they score 16 points per event. So if you don't have diving, and the other team has diving, you start a dual meet down 32-0. And then to win that meet, you have to dig out of that hole.
Despite that deficit, the program would continue to move forward. Winning became not just an expectation, but a reality. And then in 2017 came the final piece to the puzzle, a brand new state-of-the-art natatorium with all the necessary features to take the Liberty swimmers and divers to the next level.
A new facility in any sport, especially for swimming and diving, it's a big deal.
It's top-notch. It has everything that we need to be successful. And I would compare it to any other top 10 program in the country. We have a better facility to walk in than most programs that are at the highest level right now. It's very impressive that they've done it without diving because they've been able to win a conference championship without diving. I'm excited to add diving so that hopefully we can bring home more championships. Adding divers that had no experience to the team could be a struggle at many programs, and the women on the swim team were so welcoming. They took us in from day one and never looked back, and it's truly one family.
Liberty's purpose transcends sport. It transcends academics. And so much of the good stuff of life and the important stuff of life is not about sport, and it's not about school. It's about what happens in your home with your family. It's about the interactions you have with people throughout your day. You know, it's about all these different things that make up the stuff of life.
It is swimming at the end of the day, but there's so much more to them than just being a swimmer. You know, their identity isn't a swimmer, and that's something that's really special, and we can speak to that, and I think that encourages the women a lot, being able to let them know that you're not defined by a time you put up at the end of the day or by what my watch says at the end of practice. You're defined by who you are in Christ.
Liberty University is about building champions for Christ, but they're also about building champions in the pool. And if the early trajectory for this program is any indication, they're well on their way to accomplishing both.
Now Liberty will look to continue their success into this season. With that, let's take a look at the season schedule. With the new facility, a plethora of home events come with it. The Flames will host a total of 6 meets, highlighted by schools such as Brigham Young. Now, the cool thing is this will actually be the first time in Liberty history that BYU has competed against any Liberty team. Joining them also will be Old Dominion and Mount St. Mary's. LU will also host their first in-season invitational the weekend of November 16th through the 18th. Overall, it is set to be an impressive season for Liberty swimming and diving, as they have their eyes set on the CCSA Championships February 20th through the 23rd, which will be held here at Liberty's natatorium for the first time in program history. Well, when we return, Flames basketball has a little fun with one of their own as a member of the Flames gets a scare that he will never forget. Stay with us. Game On is coming right back.
This is Liberty University. Want to come visit us? Well, you're in luck. At College for a Weekend, you get to hear from speakers, go to classes, and participate in all the weekend activities. Homecoming is a perfect opportunity for alumni, families, and newcomers to be a part of the game day experience. Ring in the new year at Winterfest. Spend the day snowboarding at Snowflex, rock climbing, or at the Artist Q&A. Then rock out the night with today's top Christian artists. So come visit us. We can't wait to see you here.
Since 1971, Liberty's had one mission: training champions for Christ. Our standard is excellence with integrity, and we want to equip you with the resources you need to achieve your personal and career goals. We, the business leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries of Liberty University, are committed to becoming leaders of distinction because we are men and women who want to serve others and change the world for Christ. You'll find opportunities for competitive fellowships while developing the business ethics, knowledge, and experience that top companies are looking for. Choose from over 50 degree programs such as business administration, marketing, and information technology. At Liberty, you'll become more than just an accountant, executive, or cybersecurity analyst. You'll become a champion for Christ.
Judgment Day, it's coming. Judgment Day, it's coming. Judgment Day, it's coming. For you, it's coming for you.
Hey, welcome back to Game On. I think, Red, you'd agree that the best part about being on a team is the time you get to spend with teammates, especially when you can have a laugh at their expense.
100%. Nobody likes a laugh much better than Richie McCaw and the basketball team. They set up Zach Farquhar for a scare and a pleasant surprise that I am sure he will not forget anytime soon.
Okay, so we're going to do something really cool today. He has no idea, but Zach Farquhar has another year of eligibility. And today, we're going to give him the last scholarship that we were kind of holding to see if we were going to find someone in the late period. And we've asked Chief Hinckley to participate in our reindeer game. So I think it's going to be really fun. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it. Excuse me a sec. Zach.
That's a great question.
You got a parking? You got a
have some issues that not today.
Let's go.
Tell him.
Let him know.
Let him know.
You're on full basketball scholarship for the 2008.
Congratulations, Zach. So I was going to say, what was running through your head?
I was like, I don't think I got a parking ticket because it's the summer, but you never know. Thank you, sir.
Guys, have a great Friday.
I got a parking warning about 2 months ago, and they said if I got another warning that I wasn't going to be able to park on campus. So I got kind of nervous there when I saw Chief walk into the room and then asked to come see me. I'm extremely grateful. I mean, the past 3 years before, they're unbelievable. I made so many memories. Fantastic group of guys to be around, but I'm extremely blessed, and it just goes to show you that God can do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can imagine for yourself. So I'm very blessed.
Well, first of all, great prank. Nicely done by Coach McCaw. But he's so happy for a kid like Zach Rax, they call him, Zach Farquhar, who just works so hard, puts in so much time to see him rewarded like that is really cool.
And it's great to see. You can tell all the guys absolutely love him the way they responded. And Zach, don't worry. I admit when I was going to school here, I was a little familiar with
You got a few parking warnings as well? Then he's in good company, apparently. Yeah. Listen, we're about out of time for this week's show. As always, hit us up on social media. You can find us at GameOnLU.
And check out our website as well, GameOnLU.com.
He's Ryan McGibbon. I'm Matt Warner. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you right back here next week.